Today, we build a hybrid crappie jig with soft plastics and feathers. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to SDG. Got a hybrid build for you today, as I mentioned, but not for bass. I dove back into my Amazon find and pulled out some feathers to use today. This was the one that was stuck in the middle, kind of down below, so it got a little janky, right? The edges got curved and turned and whatnot. Well, this application is perfect for that because we don't need the whole feather. We only need the tip. The activity at the vise is going to be very quick, and then we'll go over to the soft plastics, and I've got some pretty sweet stuff to shoot over there using the Epic Baits Crappie Slayer. In the vise, you'll see in a second, we've got a 1/32 ounce freestyle with a disco gold head. We'll be tying with 140 Denier flat wax nylon. We'll probably be diving into some ice dub, and keep your dubbing wax handy. Gonna need this. I think it helps a little bit. So here's our 1/32 ounce freestyle. This disco head, there's not really a need for eyes. It's so, disco-y. It doesn't really need much more. So we're gonna be tying everything up front, leaving plenty of room for our soft plastic in the back. We also want, because we're going to be tying in those feathers right here at the collar, we're going to put a little bit of that dubbing wax right on both our thread base. So I'm going to add a little bit here, and wrap that around. So that kind of gives us an extra wax. Yes, this is 140 flat wax nylon, so there's some wax on it, but this little extra bit I think is really going to help grab the feathers, because what we're going to be using is a very, very small portion, and when you're dealing with little tiny things, you might need a little bit of help because you got big fat fingers. So what I'm going for here, I want a feather about the length of the hook. 1/32 ounce uses a size 4 90-degree jig hook, so very small portion of that overall feather. What I'm after here is pectoral fins. As we tie them on, they're going to fold back, but then when we put our soft plastic on, they're going to push out and hopefully look like two pectoral fins coming off the side. I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and leaving some stem behind. I don't even know if you can see that, but there's a little tiny bit of stem. This jig is going to ride, obviously, like that. So I'm going to come underneath. Our wax is on our base, but I'm going to add just a little bit more now to where we're going to be tying in with the thread itself. Come right down underneath, very gently. Usually I would go behind it and really try to get it to stick out 90 degrees, but I don't need to do that because our soft plastic is going to do that for us. So that looks pretty good right there. Hold it in place, crank down on it just a bit, a couple more turns. Have the other one preen back, kind of prepped as well. So we will spin this over, cut this to size. Now the bottom is now on top, right? So I'm going to put the thread on top, nice and slow. Take it easy, make sure they're positioned where you want them. Give it a pinch and pull down. All right, we are almost done at the vise, if you can believe it. You know me, I like to cover up my threads, my thread bases. So what I want to try to do is use some of this long wispy stuff that instead of it being crinkly and fibrous and kind of bushy, if you can pick some of this longer stuff, see how that's the fibers on that are like long as opposed to crinkly, right? I'm going to pull out some of this silver, and what I'm hoping is that this will actually act as almost like a flash palmered collar. So as we tie it in, these long fibers, I'm hoping they're not going to be as pretty and as uniform as a feather, but I'm hoping we can get them to kind of give an illusion of that same effect. We'll pull out a little bit more thread, put some more wax on, just helps, especially wax really helps with this stuff. This long fiber stuff doesn't like to stay on the thread without a little bit of help. All right, now let's gently bring this around, looking to fill up that gap as well. Our soft plastic's going to come quite a ways up. Back that off and give this another spin. There we go. Sometimes, especially these long fibers, you gotta kind of spin it as you go. There we go. Whip finish. 2, 3 will be plenty. I'm not even going to put any thread or water-based thread sealant on there because it's a crappie jig, pretty small. All right, I got my Stanfo tool here. It's got, you guys have seen this before, it's got Velcro on one side and a little comb on the other. Let's see if we can gently pull this ice stub out and get sort of an illusion of a collar. Don't want to pull too hard. Oh gosh. And we don't want to grab our feathers. So we don't want to pull too hard and undo what we just did. We just want the illusion, a little bit of extra movement, secondary movement as it's floating in the water. Yeah. Some of those are a little too long, so we'll take our scissors and trim off kind of the crazy ones. I think that's good enough, and that is all we need to do at the vise. So what are we going to complement this guy with? Well, I've got some more color shift from Barlow's. So I don't know if you guys have checked that stuff out yet. If you are a soft plastic maker, I highly recommend it. I got on there in my next order. I ordered almost every other color that they had, and then they're just great guys. They just threw in the rest for me. So I actually have all of their color shift, and we're going to use 2 of them today in a laminate. Seafoam Gold, Aqua Velvet, Aqua Violet. The reason, by the way, I chose pink to go with these 2 colors and a gold head is because of a little thing that I every now and then use, and I wanted to show you in case you don't have one. Super cheap on Amazon. This is a color wheel. If I look, here's green and here's blue, right? Those are the base colors of our soft plastics. So that green, blue, the way this thing works, there's lots of different ways that you can look at what colors complement each other and interact with each other. But generally speaking, I'm no expert at this by any stretch, but generally speaking, the colors that are directly across from each other are complements. So if you were to go to pure blue, orange is on the other end, right? There's a direct line. I'd move this little arrow to blue, and the complement is down here at orange, right? And oftentimes you can also use the colors on the adjacents from where you are to find a color that would look kind of nice. So lo and behold, pink is right here. So that would be a direct complement to green, would be red, and pink is a tint or a shade of red, obviously. So if I go to the green blue to kind of get the best of both, I come down in here and pink is one to the left. Also, if You go one to the right, now you're getting into the orange and the yellow orange, which was close enough to gold. Hopefully it's going to look as cool as it looks in my head, and this thing actually makes sense. Let's turn our attention to the soft plastics and find out. And here we go. New shirt, because for me, anyway, it's a new day. I finished the Vice stuff yesterday. We had some family stuff to get to, so this is the next day, and we are going to build this soft plastic crappie slayer. So let me see if the Plastisol is ready to go, and we'll get to building. So a little bit of time left on those. Here's the flake that I'm thinking. So we've got this seafoam gold. Remember that one? I'm thinking that would work well with pink. This would pull in that feather color as well. And then with the aqua violet, I've got a 0.008, so this is extra fine from Barlow's, called Rainbow. So you can see that. It's got a lot of different colors, kind of a silver base, but a lot of different colors going on in it. A little smaller, the pink is 0.015. I've got a half cup, as you can see, BaitPlastics 242. That's what we normally use here. Let's start out with our top color, the seafoam. Got a 1/16 teaspoon. Normally for a full cup I'm going to use 1/8 of a teaspoon of this, so a 1/16 for a half cup makes a whole lot of sense. We'll at least start with that one and see how it goes. Oh yeah, that's nice. So you can see it, but it disappears pretty quickly, so I'm happy with this consistency. Now let's add the flake. Normally, again, on a full cup, I'd use a full 1/16 as a starter, really small flake, heavily saturates. So we're going to go with half of a 1/16 or 1/32 if I had that small of a spoon. We can at least start there. You can always add more. Can't take any away. If that disappears too much, then we'll add some more. But I think that's just right. Just a hint, right? Yeah. Let me swap these out and we'll start with the blue. Okay, same half cup. 1/16 of this aqua violet. Alright, now to that rainbow flake. So same thing, half of 1/16. I need to warm this one up. I'll make sure that they're both at around probably 325, no more than 330, and then we'll shoot this thing, see how it turned out. Alright, we are up to temp. Because we're only dealing with about a half a cup each, I'm going to put these in my little makeshift cup tilter. I made it out of some scrap wood here. So bring those up. I'm going to put the seafoam gold on top with the blue violet, or aqua violet, underneath. Purge out a little bit of air there. There we go. And let's shoot. .24 cavity, but it doesn't take a whole lot because these are small baits. We'll see how they turn out. I don't usually show this, but I thought, hey, why not take a look at the blending block? Some guys like to see this part. Happy to show it. So there it is. All right, the big reveal. Came out upside down. So that looks good so far. Yeah. Yeah. This color shift stuff from Barlow's. Oh yeah. You can really see the gold there. Wow. The color shift stuff from Barlow's is just killer. See how it shifts? Let me flip it over. Some of that green sea foam and then a lot more gold. There's that gold right there. Woo. And the blue, I do love that blue color. Nice clean laminate as well. Very cool. Only thing left to do now is put this on our jig head, get those pectoral fin feathers to spread out, and see if it looks as cool in person as it is up in here. Pretty cool. Let me show you a brief little close-up here, then I'll give you some really good close-up shots. How about that little guy? A tail going crazy. There it is from underneath. That's cool. So the pink flake didn't really pop maybe as much as I was hoping. But the sea foam, the blue work really well together. The pink feather is a nice complement, little pop, and of course all the sparkle at the tops. So let me give you some really good close-ups, and then after that, of course, we have to take this to the test tank and see how she swims.
Get out of the way or end up on a pyre.
Well, I'd say that turned out pretty nice. An unexpected benefit when I put our little crappie jig, hybrid crappie jig, in the current, and those pectoral fins, when it was just floating like under a float, I was trying to emulate what it would look like under a float, just kind of bobbing up and down with a light breeze. But on the retrieve, in the current, those pectoral fins folded back and kind of looked like a little mini lateral line. I liked it. I think it's going to catch me a ton of fish. I hope you guys enjoyed the build video today as well. If you'd like to see some more lure building just like this, then click right here. If you're curious about the name SDG, then click right here. Otherwise, until the next time, I'll see you guys at the vise.